In this video, we are going to compare Cursor AI, Claude Code, Lovable, and Cosine. My scenario is that I'm a beginner. I use these tools for the first time, and in the end, I want to use this with my company. So I'm heavily interested in collaboration tools and integrations like GitHub and Vercel. And let's get started. So as you can already see, I started with a web version of Cursor. I made a new repository, couldn't start without it, picked GDP5 and gave my prompt. Spoiler alert, the web version of Cursor gave an impressive result, but it was probably too complicated. And what's worse is that it took 20 minutes to build something fairly simple. The setup took way more time than I expected. Connecting Vercel and managing to see the page also took a little bit more than I expected. And stay tuned for the second simple prompt because something unexpected happened and I had to switch to the IDE version, which is okay, it's cool, I get it, most developers do use that, but I shouldn't get this bug in order to change from the web version to the IDE. Next, we have Claude. I know, again, most of you are working with Claude CLI, but I also wanted to test the web version, and it's actually pretty good. Setting it up was very easy and fast. I gave my prompt, I worked with Sonnet 4.5, and after 2-3 minutes, I had the first result. No issues or anything, pretty straightforward. The output also looked good, not as impressive as Cursor, but it did it in 2-3 minutes. And in comparison again with Cursor that took 20 minutes, that felt quite impressive. Let's move on to Lovable. So, Lovable is known for its quick prototypes and not so much for team collaboration or integrations. And although you can connect it to GitHub, you cannot, for example, pick a model like GDP5 or something else. And it also lacks some other essential features that a team would love to have. And I'm referring to a CLI version. After the first prompt, Lovable found a bug on its own, and after asking me, it also solved it. That output looked nice and everything was working. And now it's time to move on to our fourth platform, Cosine. I worked at Cosine, but I'll try not to be biased. Cosine is pretty straightforward. You create a project and then a task, you prompt, wait a few minutes, and get the result. Connecting to GitHub or Vercel or the other integrations that we have is not mandatory, but if you're talking about professional work, I would recommend doing it so you don't have to switch. After 2 minutes, I had my website. I tested it and it looked great, exactly how I was expecting it. And now it's time to move on to the second prompt, where I asked these four platforms to let the user add an article. That was just it, nothing else. But as you will notice, I had a big issue with Cursor. I waited for about 17 minutes and nothing happened with my second prompt. I prompted again and again, but again, nothing. So in total, I was waiting for 40 minutes just to have a simple website with articles that expect on viewing them. I couldn't do anything else. And that's how I decided to move to the IDE version. I started from scratch once again, prompted to create a blog exactly like the first time, waited for about 5 minutes, and I had the result. It was way simpler and impressive than the first time, but at least I had it in 5 minutes. And then I moved to the second prompt, let the user add an article. And this time, after a few minutes, again, I had the result, but it was not what I expected. I prompted again and again, like 10 times, literally 10 times, hoping that it would fix the bug that it was creating or that it would do what I asked it to do. But again, nothing happened. And I didn't want to spend much more time there. I had spent more than 1 hour just trying to fix those kind of things, which again, I find that I was asking for something simple. Anyway, yeah, let's move on to Claude. When I gave the second prompt to Claude Code, it quickly produced a result. It found a bug and it suggested a solution on its own. After testing it again, everything worked as expected. My only issue with Claude is that the free plan is very limited and you cannot test it properly before deciding to purchase it unless you wait a few hours to get your credits renewed. But let's face it, this is not very practical or professional. So I don't know how many people are actually doing that. Let's move on to Lovable, our third platform. In this video, I'm not talking about prices and billing plans, but since I mentioned Claude's free plan, I bumped into a similar situation with Lovable. It did what I asked it to do. It worked perfectly. The user could add an article and view it correctly, but I was almost out of credits, and that was just after two prompts and one two bug fixes that it auto suggested. So it's like I had to do them. Let's move on to our fourth platform. Last but not least, we have Cosine. I gave the second prompt to Cosine, and the first time it didn't get it quite right. I asked to fix that, and the second time I got exactly what I needed. I tested thoroughly, I could see the result, I could view the output, and everything was as expected. I also didn't have any issues with running out of credits or tasks. And here are my final thoughts. Each tool showed its strengths. Cursor offers power inside the IDE but still feels heavy on the setup and inconsistent across flows. Claude impresses with reasoning and quick scaffolds but needs higher credit limits for iterative work. Lovable wins on simplicity yet sacrifices transparency and control. And then, yes, we have Cosine. Cosine balances speed with structure, producing ready to review code that fits real team workflows. I want to close by saying AI tools are evolving fast, but speed alone doesn't equal delivery. For teams that care about trust, CI/CD alignment, and measurable throughput, Cosine's orchestration model proves more reliable. And we have more videos and articles that prove that. The best tool isn't the one that writes the fastest line of code. It's the one that helps your team ship fast. Pick a tool that helps you and your team. Happy coding!